Let someone else go.
Okay, you're now recording. Whenever you're.
Thank you, Chuck. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful, brisk San Diego day in December. Thank you all for making time out of your schedules to be here. I'm calling this meeting to order at 8:33. My name is Keith Opstead, and I am the chair of the City of San Diego Commission for Arts and Culture Public Art Committee. We're going to do a quick roll call to confirm committee member attendance. When I call your name, please say present. Commissioner Fritz Friedman.
Present.
Andrew Alcosid. Commissioner Dennis Doan.
Present.
Francisco Eme.
Present.
Wayne Holton. Present. Commissioner Abe Hughes.
Present.
Rachel Jans. Commissioner Alessandro Moctezuma. Commissioner Imani Robinson.
Present.
Dr. Denise Rogers. Amy Sanchez Arteaga. Thank you all. Your attendance has been noted. Before we begin, I just wanted to thank the many of you that were at the grand opening of the Pacific Highlands Ranch Library. Commissioner Hughes, you were there. Mr. Holton, you were there. Were you there?
No, I should have been.
Should have been, okay. But of course, Christine Jones, Dr. Bullock, and Chuck were also all there. So it was a really, really nice turnout to celebrate Janelle's artwork, and it was just a really, really well-attended exhibition. And if you haven't been, get there, even if it's later on at night. It's going to be really, really amazing. And it's just a very, very inclusive and fun, public art display. So we're going to go ahead and start off with non-agenda public comment. The public was invited to submit public comment on agenda and non-agenda items via a web form accessible through the agenda and the Commission's website. Members of the public may also join this meeting in person and as webinar attendees. If members of the public have submitted comments in writing via the web form, staff will read aloud public comment submitted per city public comment protocol. I will now call on Chuck to read aloud any non-agenda public comment or to call on any attendees who would like to provide comment.
Thank you, Chair Opstead. Good morning, everyone. So those members of the public have submitted a speaker slip for another agenda item. But I will ask those members who are attending virtually, if you would like to provide non-agenda public comment, please press the hand raise button now, and I will call on you in the order that I see the hand raises. When I allow you to speak, please unmute yourself, state your name for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes. So asking those members of it who are attending virtually, seeing none and no comments submitted in writing for the record.
Thank you, Chuck. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the chair's reports. We have some commission business. You may recall that we did not meet in November. So I'm reporting back from full commission meeting in October, in which the commission carried forward our recommendations to accept the final artwork proposal for the San Carlos Branch Library by Recite. Our panelists' recommendations for the Fire Station 48 Black Mountain Ranch Public Art Project, and our recommended acquisitions for the Civic Art Collection from the Exposure Photo Fellowship. I would like to add that the commission recommended 1 acquisition by purchase in addition to the 5 acquisitions recommended by the Public Art Committee. Staff has confirmed the department's capacity to purchase this additional artwork, making a total of 6 new acquisitions for the Civic Art Collection from the Exposure Photo Fellowship. Finally, I'd also like to give everyone a quick heads up that staff anticipates a meeting first thing in the new year on January 10th. So be on the lookout for an early quorum check next week prior to the holidays. So it looks like we have our first action item, and that is the October 11th, 2024 Public Art Committee meeting minutes. I hope everyone had the opportunity to review the minutes from the October meeting. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the minutes as they are?
A motion.
Okay, I've got a first motion by Commissioner Doan.
Second.
Thank you very much. We now have a second from Commissioner Robinson. So we now have a first motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Now we will take a vote. I will call your name and you will respond out loud with yay, nay, or abstain. Remember, you do not need to have been present at the October meeting to vote or discuss. Commissioner Friedman. Commissioner Doan.
Yay.
Francisco Eme.
Yay.
Wayne Holden. Yay. Commissioner Hughes.
Yay.
Rachel Jans.
Yay.
Commissioner Robinson.
Yay.
And my vote is a yay. Thank you, Chuck. Please read any public comment for this item that was submitted in writing and call on any attendees that would like to provide comment for this item.
Thank you, Chair Opstead. No comment received in writing. I'll ask those members of those virtual attendees, if you would like to provide comment on this item, please press the hand raise button now. Seeing none.
Thank you. So our next action item is the intersection mural proposal from Downtown San Diego Partnership, Abalone Journey by Janelle, Louis, and Tao Hua. Hua? Huyn. Thank you. We will start with the conflict of interest disclosures. The recommendation affects contracts with artists Janelle Louis and Tao Huyn. Okay. French, please assess whether you have any conflicts to disclose. As a reminder, you have a copy of the conflict criteria to reference. When I call on your name, if you have no conflicts, please state no conflicts. And if you do have a conflict, please recuse yourself from the discussion and voting on this action item. Commissioner Friedman.
No conflict.
Thank you. Commissioner Doan.
No conflict.
Francisco Eme.
No conflict.
Wayne Holton.
No conflict.
Commissioner Hughes.
No conflict.
Rachel Jans.
No conflict.
Commissioner Robinson.
No conflict.
And I have no conflict. I'd now like to call on Chuck to provide an overview of the intersection mural proposal and staff recommendation.
Thank you, Chair Opstead. Good morning once again, everyone. The Department of Cultural Affairs staff has received a mural application for an intersection mural from the Downtown San Diego Partnership. The applicant is proposing an intersection mural by San Diego-based artists Janelle Louis and Tao Huyn French. The mural is proposed for installation within the intersection of 3rd Avenue and J Street in downtown San Diego, adjacent to the San Diego Chinese Historical Museum. The artwork will consist of an approximately 40 feet by 34-foot intersection mural depicting the San Diego-based Sun Yun Lee, a fishing junk built in 1884 as its central motif. The mural also includes depictions of local rock cod, abalone, chrysanthemums, and Chinese ink art, highlighting the contributions of early Asian immigrants to the city of San Diego that may not be well known otherwise. City staff evaluated the application utilizing criteria contained in the City of San Diego Commission for Arts and Culture Department Instruction Collection Management Policy for the Civic Art Collection. And the results of staff's analysis include regarding public safety, if the exhibit is installed and maintained properly within the proposed location of the intersection of 3rd Avenue and J Street, i.e. city approved methods and materials safe for the public, it is unlikely to pose hazards or threats to public safety or public health, and or is unlikely to pose a potential liability for the city in any other way. The applicant would be solely responsible for funding the mural. This includes, but is not limited to, insurance, installation, maintenance, and conservation, deinstallation, and site restoration. The mural would provide an aesthetic and cultural experience for residents and visitors to downtown near the San Diego Chinese Historical Museum in Convention Center, and activate and enhance the area surrounding the intersection of 3rd Avenue and J Street. Due to the placement of the mural at a busy intersection that is active with vehicles and pedestrians, the mural will serve to balance urbanization and development with humanizing elements. The mural may stimulate discussion and exchange of ideas about art in the neighborhood due to its highly visible location. And the proposed exhibit exemplifies artistic merit and quality of workmanship. The mural is to be sited in the public right-of-way on the pavement within the intersection of Third Avenue and J Street. Traffic intersections are managed by the Street Division of the city's Transportation Department. However, the Street Division only maintains standard right-of-way elements. If the mural is authorized, it will be formalized in an encroachment maintenance and removal agreement between the applicant and the city. The intersection mural received letters of support from the Chinese Historical Museum and the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association. The subject matter of the mural was developed in collaboration with the latter organization. Let's see. So the evaluation criteria you will use to decide whether to recommend to the commission authorization of the proposed exhibit may include some or all of those given in the City of San Diego Commission for Arts and Culture Department Instruction, which was linked in the staff report. The director of the Department of Cultural Affairs will consider the recommendation from city staff, the Public Art Committee, the commission, and any other pertinent stakeholders before making a final decision on whether to authorize the proposed intersection mural. So the staff recommendation today is to recommend to the City of San Diego Commission for Arts and Culture that the director of the Department of Cultural Affairs approve the intersection mural titled Abalone Journey, consisting of a mural by artist Janelle Louis and Tao Huan French for a temporary exhibit within the traffic intersection of 3rd Avenue and J Street, downtown San Diego, for up to a 5-year period. Happy to take any questions.
I have a question, actually. Is this a standalone mural in the middle of an intersection, or is it up against the wall against a building?
It's on the pavement in the intersection.
Oh, it's on the pavement.
Yeah.
Look at the second to the last page.
Oh, okay. And gosh, it's on the pavement. So in order for you to really see it, you got to go into the intersection and look down to see this, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah, there's another example of an intersection mural
Well, there
by the
isn't.
same applicant on I believe 3rd and Cedar in Cortez Hill.
Is there some sort of identification on some sort of card at the intersection so people can see what it's about and maybe have a photo of it from above?
That I'm not aware of, or that was not part of the proposal that we analyzed.
I'm just thinking, I don't know how people can appreciate it if they're in a car driving by, or they got to stop in the middle of the intersection to take a long look at this mural. So at least if you have some sort of a card that explains what it is, it makes more sense to me. But other than that, I just don't get it.
So,
In my opinion.
So you're certainly welcome to make that suggestion to the Downtown Partnership. I'm sure they could identify a collaboration with the Historical Museum, which is right adjacent to the intersection mural. So there's an opportunity for that.
Thank you.
Chuck, couple of questions. What type of paint is being used? Because I just know sometimes when it is on a flat surface like this, you referenced that they do have some experience of previous installations, but sometimes certain paints will actually make it more slick, leading to possible slipping. And I know sometimes they have to have, I think it's called a shark grip added to it, which is like almost like a 400 grit sandpaper. That's my first one. The second one is it's there for 5 years. What is in the budget for the normal wear and tear? Because as you are walking across that, driving across that, we don't want it to damage the actual appearance. We want it to look just as nice in 5 years.
Right. So to your first question, my understanding is that the mural will be made with a thermoplastic, which is heat applied, which is designed for this kind of application. In addition to that, this project is also being analyzed for a right-of-way permit by the Department of Development Services. So they're looking into all of those technical details. So it will be a material that is designed for this particular space and application and meets all of those criteria. And so the downtown partnership, the applicant will be responsible for the maintenance, and the term of the agreement will be with the city will be for up to 5 years. So,
Thank you for the clarification.
yeah.
Yeah, I had a question, but it's pretty much been answered. But I just think it's brilliant. And I've seen murals on the pavement and it dies fast. And that's a lot of white. And I'm looking at the buildings, very bland buildings.
Mm.
It just seems like it would just be so much better on a building.
Yeah.
Or even, well, you also brought up slippery, but if they could be some type of tiles, I know that sounds crazy, but it seems like it would just be more brilliant and stay with that, like baked in
Mhm.
some type of tile, type of something. I don't know. I just think the artwork is beautiful, breathtaking, brilliant. But I just don't see that staying that way. I feel like I hate to say like even an eyesore in the sense of it not being so white, so bright. That's it.
I think on the comments here, the city review, it's saying change the white color. So I think that's already been picked up by city staff too, so.
But then what
But-
you're gonna do, you're gonna do this dingy
Mhm.
page.
I know, I know.
Yeah, I agree.
A light tan would not affect it.
Say it again.
A light tan?
Well, even a light color, I mean, I get the commissioner's point that after 5 years, that's going to be a very different look from the first day when you put it down, when you have cars and people and whatever, the rain and all of the various factors that come into decaying a piece of work. I'm just saying, I agree.
And with Chuck, with the encroachment removal agreement, then the applicant is responsible for maintenance or upkeep.
Mhm.
Because,
Yes,
typically
that's
as the
correct.
city is wrote to do, in 1 year, they'll trench across the middle of it for some
Mhm.
water line or something. And then, are we gonna have a
Right.
big X in it or a big slash? Yeah, I agree with Amani. The piece in itself, the art composition is beautiful. How long has the other intersection installation been in place, and what does it look like? I can't envision having seen it, but is it holding up or is it?
As far as I know, I can't comment on the state of it today, but as far as I know, it's holding up.
How long has it been in place?
I believe it's been in place since 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Chuck, I have a question. Is this like a decal? It's all printed out in one thermoplastic printout and then applied? Is that how this works? It's not painted on, right?
I can't comment on whether it's printed or whether it's whether it's different sections of color. But I know that it is kind of it's a material that is heated so that it sort of melts and basically seeps into the the surface texture of the pavement and then will re-solidify, and that's kind of how it adheres itself.
The reason I ask is because if it is kind of like that, as some,
Uh-huh.
super contemporary pieces of artwork are, then what happens is you just, after it ages a bit, they just scrape it off and they reprint another one depending on the cost. And then they just reapply that again. It's like a decal, frankly. And so, I mean, I think that's just the nature of some public interventions today. And it's, ephemeral art. And, part of the charm, frankly, is that it weathers and, the conditions of a city, society, et cetera, take its toll. I mean, but if it gets super ragged, I would just suggest that, we reserve our right to say, hey, time to replace this, reprint it out or what have you.
And do they have the budget for that?
Right.
I don't know how much it costs to create this and then to apply improvements, but I like Commissioner Imani's suggestion of putting it on a wall so people can actually sit back and look at it like you're in a museum. Just saying.
I have just follow, oh, go.
No, go ahead.
Oh, following that, I just have one comment. It's a beautiful mural. I love the history that it is bringing up. So important. But the work itself seems oriented to traffic coming from certain directions and not all directions. So if you're coming from
That's right.
Third Avenue, it is, just to point out, it is upside down. So it is harder to appreciate the mural.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I wanted to comment about, there is a budget, from what I see, it says 100,010, which seems like a lot of money.
Mm.
And I think that would totally cover a lot of maintenance, but there will have to be like some kind of a agreement of how often the maintenance need to be
Mm.
happening. So I think I agree with Abe that, the point of this mural, of this artwork is to be on the floor. That's the magic of it. I think that's the magic of this kind of works. I'm not convinced, because I know that it's not going to be paid by the city. They're doing it as citizens, which I think is great. 5 years of this seems a little bit long to me. I would be happy with having it for a few months. With that budget, they could probably do 3 other murals in other parts of the city, or I don't know. It seems kind of. I'm also worried about how much is going to resist. What if there's something on the pavement? The city of San Diego has a lot of pavement issues. What if happens right in the center? Just considering that.
I'll just add that all of the requirements of the downtown partnership will be, in terms of maintenance and removal, will be codified in that encroachment agreement that I mentioned in the presentation. So if it is, if there are issues with it, it will be the downtown partnership's responsibility to address those issues in a timely manner. So.
And just so we're clear, that they are paying all of the costs, the city's not contributing anything. And the reason I asked, because of the very political
Mhm.
aspect of, we have so many potholes and so many streets that are in absolute disrepair. How could we possibly be spending money on something like this?
Correct. No city money is being put toward this.
So just to clarify, it's through an external application process. We have 4 proposals for specifically intersection murals in the right of way. And again, those are always, the cost is always associated with the applicant.
Does the cost also include street closure?
Yes, that would be all part of the permitting process for the installation.
And just asking, like, what would that cost? What does the city pay, like, for?
Well, the city pays nothing.
I mean, pay, I'm sorry, charge. The word was charge.
Oh, that I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
'cause that's a lot to shut down a street. Okay. That's where all the $100,000.
Well, I'll just add that thermoplastic, that's the kind of material that you see like on those yellow crosswalks and things like that's the same material. And it is an expensive material to put in the right of way. So there is cost involved with that application.
That does last.
Last point I'd like to make is that what I like about it being on the actual street is that it'll get people off their phones. And oftentimes in my classroom, I'll have things on the walls, but that's not how my students are looking at things. And so I've actually put things on the ground and they actually pay attention. So it's a sign of the times. I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Thank you for that. I'm going to just appreciate this.
I just want to add that with my experience speaking to members of the Chinese Historical Museum and whatnot, they've had a lot of trouble bringing traffic to this area. And I think I think the reason why they want to do it on the ground is to inspire people to walk the area more and contribute to the business around there. And hopefully the domino effect will help the area grow and bring more business to this museum that's been pretty much neglected for a long time. Yeah. So that's all.
Sorry, question, is the museum involved somehow in this project?
From what I understand, the Chinese Historical Museum and the Chinese Benevolent Association is involved.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because that would help a lot with making it accessible for the community when they have, I don't know, a pamphlet, information, a poster, or just highlight the mural
Mhm.
more, that would help. So, because if you're driving, I mean, people slow down when there's murals on the floor. But it's, yeah, 3 seconds that you see this mural. But if you go to the museum, if it becomes a thing, like, hey, let's unveil this mural, let's have a day at the museum, maybe some food, make it an event, that would make more sense to me. But still, I think 5 years might be too long. I would think, what if there is it's changed, different mural, different artist. That's a lot of money. $110,000 is a lot of money. You can, I mean, if the purpose is doing community work, you can do a lot with that during 5 years, benefiting more artists or other sites. Yeah, that's my comment.
Just to add to that, Francisco, I think that one thing that we maybe can do as a city, right, as you guys interact with some of these applications is, I think of the expense here that's being allocated. If the goal is to attract more attention to the Chinese Historical Museum, boy, I think that there's a lot of other art type intervention that could be much more effective, more permanent, more interesting than perhaps this kind of, super ephemeral question, people are questioning, how long it's going to look good. And if there's a way you guys could push back, I mean, before it gets to this stage, because our job right now is to say yes or no, right? And it's not to, go back and, come up with something else, right?
So
Yeah.
So I'll just share. So this is, the Downtown Partnership as part of their mission really thinks about placemaking in the downtown area. So I think this is part of their strategy for placemaking. They're just, starting to explore other types of, space out in public, in the public realm. So this is their second intersection mural that they're exploring. The city does have a placemaking process. This is part of that. So, we have to be open to these types of applications for folks to be able to do things in the right of way. Public right of way is a little different than city property in the sense that, people can apply to do things in the right of way. So we do have to have that as an option for folks.
Well, Christine, I just would encourage you guys in your private conversations with them as you guide them is to maybe encourage other opportunities, besides, because say some other organization sees this and says, hey, I want to do that too. And I want to, and suddenly we've got all of these intersections with these, whereas, to get the impact of what art can do, maybe it's something different. Because I think what's coming next with this downtown partnerships are the butterflies, right? Is that part of this whole group? Are they the ones promoting that as well?
I don't really have any update on that at this
Okay.
point.
And that's
So,
also a super expensive project. And are we really getting our bang for our buck?
well, we can certainly have a conversation with the Downtown Partnership. So.
I think that would be Alessandra, who should be, she's the commissioner for this district, right? The one that covers, I think, downtown.
Yeah, we can certainly talk to her, but more importantly, it's the city talking with the Downtown Partnership.
Mhm. I have actually seen intersection art, and you can't not see it. Whether you're driving or walking. And to Commissioner Doan and Commissioner Ofsted, it is about activating space and bringing recognition to that. I think I was just being a little bratty on the integrity of the art, but and just like Mrs. Jones stated, that it's that yellow, same paint as that yellow, that's not going anywhere. That yellow stays nice and bright. I'm over it. I'm not even the white. Look at the white, those stripes. Those stripes stay white when we walk on the sidewalk. So are we ready to do a vote or something? 'Cause I appreciate this, and I appreciate the point of activating the space, especially for the Chinese Historical Museum, which we didn't know much about. So it sounds like it's time for a field trip.
Yes. And before we go to public comment, are there any other questions, comments in this group? And you were not being bratty, by the way. So thank you, Chuck. I will now request any public comment for this agenda item. Chuck, please read any public comment that was submitted in writing and call on any attendees that would like to provide comment.
Thank you, Commissioner Opsted. No comment was received in writing. So starting with those members of the public in person, we do have a speaker slip from Joel Hermosillo from the Downtown San Diego Partnership. So Joel, you'll have 3 minutes.
Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. Thank you for having our item today. My name is Joel Hermosillo, Director of Business Engagement for the Downtown San Diego Partnership and the Project Manager for the Intersection Mural Avalon Journey. This mural celebrates the rich history and cultural contributions of the Asian Pacific community in San Diego. And I'm honored to work with the talented artists and our stakeholders and the community partners to bring this vision to life. This mural isn't just, for the Chinese Historical District, but for the area that is also known as the Asian Pacific Historic District in downtown there. Just to also comment on one of the questions was, we do have a marketing plan with our team to carry out more of a storyboard where people can reference it on from a QR code around the area and see the art and see the story behind this art and the history that goes with it. With that, I just want to thank you for your time and support of this project and look forward to working with you all and bringing this project to life. Thank you.
Thank you. And so now I'll ask those in virtual attendance, if you would like to provide a comment on this item, please press the hand raise button now. And I am seeing none.
Thank you, Chuck. Would anyone like to go ahead and make a motion to recommend to the commission that the director, the intersection mural proposal from, let me try that one more again. We're missing a couple words here. Would anyone like to recommend to the commission that the executive director approve the intersection mural proposal for the downtown partnership? Did I get that right?
I make a motion on the Marina District intersection mural at 3rd and Avenue and J Street to exist.
Thank you, Commissioner Robinson. Would anybody like to second that motion?
I'll second it.
Thank you very much. We have a first from Commissioner Robinson and we have a second from Wayne Holton. We now have a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion?
Keep it white.
Thank you. Now we're going to go ahead and take a vote. I will call your name and you will respond out loud with yay, nay, or abstain. Commissioner Friedman.
Nay.
Commissioner Doan.
Yay.
Francisco Eme. Wayne Holton.
Yay.
Commissioner Hughes.
Yay.
Rachel Jans.
Yay.
Commissioner Robinson.
Yay.
And my vote is a yay. Thank you, everybody. We're going to now move on to the reports. I'd like to call on Christine Jones to provide the staff report.
All right, well, so happy holidays, first of all, and thank you for being here this morning. We just have a couple just kind of reminders or updates for you all. So if you have not been to Pacific Highlands Ranch Branch Library, that is up in the Pacific Highlands area of the city. And this immersive environment that Janelle Iglesias has created is impressive. It's beautiful. And you can really spend some time in there. The opening was really incredibly attended by the community. I mean, there must have been at least 300 people there, if not more. It was a huge celebration. And Janelle was able to share a few words about her work. And there seems to be a lot of interest in the piece there. So if you haven't done a little field trip up there, please check it out when you have a chance. And I think next up we have the Canyon Street Pocket Park. So this is a small pocket park in Point Loma. It's kind of a little tuckaway pocket park on 3350 Avenida de Portugal. And it's quite little lovely park. So there was a very brief celebration the day before Thanksgiving that Councilmember Campbell facilitated. Nate Page was able to come down for it, and it's a beautiful work and it really looks stunning in its environment. So if you haven't checked it out, please take a little field trip over there as well. And then I think I just want to also just remind all of you or just share that our poet laureate, Jason Macabo Perez, is having his kind of culminating event as part of his kind of ongoing project he's done and facilitated this year. He's hosting a poetry festival pretty much all day tomorrow. It's from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the UCSD Cross Cultural Center. And boy, I mean, he has an amazing, very impressive lineup of poets from all over the region who are facilitating different sessions about poetry. I think there's going to be a book fair as well. And then the closing session, which I think starts around 3:45 p.m., will have Jason doing some readings, but also it'll include Lee Herrick, who is the state poet laureate, and I think another poet laureate from is it Clarita or Santa Clara, somewhere up north of our area. And so that's going to be a special treat as well. So if you have time to stop by, it's free. You can kind of just drop by anytime. The schedule and everything is on his website. So if you go to jasonmacaboperez.com, there's a whole program and a schedule. And again, you can just kind of come and go as you'd like. So I would highly encourage you to stop by for that. Yes.
I just wanted to add that it's at UCSD, as Christine mentioned, which is sometimes hard to park, but on the weekend it's free. So free parking everywhere. There's a trolley stop that goes right to it. So I just, for the record, wanted to mention that too.
Where is it? Where is it at UCSD? I don't know where that cultural center is.
It's in the Price Center. So
Oh,
where
so
they
it's
have
in
like the
the-
food court,
yeah,
like,
okay.
upstairs.
All right. So Gilman parking is a good one for that, and it's free.
Yeah, so you have no excuse. No, I'm just kidding. And I think that really concludes our updates for today. So thanks again and happy holidays.
Christine, can I just put on the record that I think that the work that Janelle Iglesias did and her contribution and her going above and beyond the call of duty on this should be merited. I mean, she did a really amazing job and she's such a wonderful person. We should encourage her to do another public project. And I think that we're on a string of really good things because I think also John Raymond Mireles, right? Our photo group. He went way above and beyond the call of duty on all of his thing. And I think that as these should be case studies that we give to others as they go and execute works for us, because I mean, that's really what we want to see, right?
Yeah, I love that idea. Thank you for acknowledging that.
On your report, when you talked about the abalone, I just love the artist story about that was, 'cause I went to school at Silvergate, so I went to school with a lot of kids that parents were fishermen or grandparents were fishermen. And so when you look at that blue, there's just brilliant blues. But what was great is he said he heard a story from one of the when the artist does the Meet the Artist. And so one of the residents said that when the fishermen would come back, that they would, it was such a celebration that they would, get taken out of school and go meet and wait on the pier and wait for the ships to come in, and so that's what that represented. So it just brought even more life to the art, but the art is beautiful. So I just wanted to take that back. Okay, I'm done.
100%. It's a real celebration of especially the Portuguese tuna fishing that really built up that area. And then people don't know that Bumblebee Tuna was here and these giant organizations. And it was for generations. And I mean, it's the perfect location for it. So if you get a chance off of Canyon Street, please do that.
And it's quiet.
Is it tile work? It's tiles. You know, it's not tile.
It kind of is supposed to inspired by Portuguese tile,
Tiles,
but it's
okay.
actually painted
Oh,
wood.
it's painted.
It's a
okay.
special type of wood that lasts like forever in an outdoor environment.
Okay, because, yeah, I mean, the Portuguese are known for their tile, their azulejos, right?
Exactly. And that's what was the inspiration.
Fabulous.
And that was actually part of the early conversation is that I pointed out, look, a pier is designed to be walked on, but it was not obviously designed to be walked on. And so that's why it was part of the conversation, because I believe originally it was tile. And so working with the artists through the entire process.
It's
So
well-
if people like this and you're ever in Lisbon, there's the world's best museum for tiles called Museu de Azulejos. And it's really such a delight if you're ever there. It's well worth it.
Well, thank you very much, Christine, for the report. And are there any other committee member announcements or reports to be shared? Okay. Finally, Chuck, would you please read aloud any public comment for this final item that was submitted in writing and call on any attendees that would like to provide comment for this item?
Thank you, Chair Opstead. No comments submitted in writing. No members of the public in attendance in person. I'll ask those members in attendance virtually. If you'd like to provide comment on this item, please press the hand raise button now. And I'm seeing none.
Thank you very much, Chuck. Thank you, committee members. Our next meeting is planned for Friday, January 10th. This meeting is adjourned at 9:14. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.
Holidays.
Holidays, everyone.
So if anybody hasn't been up to LA to see the Olafur Eliasson exhibit at the